Welcome to the Right Hand Drive Guys podcast, the show for guys who like right hand drives. As always, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
Make sure to follow us on the socials at RHDGUIS. DM us with the questions and check out the merch on RHDGUIS.com. Enjoy episode 60. All right, and episode 60, what are we doing?
Dude, talking about everything in here.
Talking about the shop, doing a little Blunt Garage update, what's going on behind us if you're watching on YouTube, and just kind of go through the cars, talk about what we're doing with them, maybe discuss a little bit about what we're going to be doing on the podcast. But yeah, just a general update episode.
Hell yeah.
Cool. So I guess I have a few garage projects, so I'll start. And then you can throw yours in and we can kind of alternate.
Yeah, let's get it.
So, of course, I got the 33 GTR, which is directly behind us. And this has been, like a work in progress for years, so to speak. We were just talking about the other day about how when I first got the car compared to today, it's definitely like night and day, so to speak.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah, it was just kind of rough around the edges, was obviously driven, so to speak, in Japan and had clearly sat around maybe for a little bit. And so, over the time between sending it to a shop and then what we've done here, we've really transformed it. And I just kind of keep tweaking little odds and ends because at this point, that's all I can do. Beyond, take it.
Yeah, the refinement, right?
Yeah, for sure. So what's going on with it? I just threw down on some Nismo carbon fiber pillar garnishes.
Nice.
That was something I didn't have, and I kind of had held off on them because I just didn't know how they were going to look. I wasn't sure if it was like a sticker, if it was like a replacement, if it was a cover, so
right.
Anyways, when we were just in Japan, my pillars on the 34 GTR are kind of like, they were just a little faded and stuff, right? Just a little, so when we were at Nismo, I picked up the ones for that, and I could see the quality, I could see what they were, and so when I got back, I immediately ordered those because I was like, all right. Yeah. These are good accent piece.
Yeah. And dude, just to say, I mean, whenever we got back from that trip from Japan, like it came off that rack, it was on there for a while.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it came off and I was like, wow.
Guy's motivated
now. Guy's
now.
Motivated now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you cleaned the wheels, dude. You got it all like shiny. I'm like, oh, okay. Hasn't moved in months. Gets back from Japan, motivated you a little bit, I guess, right?
Yeah, that motivation, dude. Yeah, I mean, it really is a thing, right? I mean, you spend the time over there and you see everybody, pride with their cars and whatnot. And of course, it's kind of easy sometimes during the winter here to kind of let the car go to the wayside, right? Because, I mean, can't drive it. So it's like, I immediately came back, did that, and then I also ordered the Nismo carbon fiber mirror cover because you had gotten me that one originally for Christmas like 2 years ago for the 33, but something happened, right?
Yeah, so on Trust Kaikaku is where I got it from, right?
Yeah.
And you go and you look at the mirror covers and it says something like, it's for the early model 33, late model 34.
Yeah.
Or early model 34, something like that.
Yeah.
And long story short, it's like backwards. Like you have to order the one for the 32 for the 33.
Yeah.
And then the one for the 33 for the 34.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was super confusing.
So he gets me this, and
I got it for the 33 because it said, early model 33.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, that's it. That's what you got.
Right.
So I was like, got it.
Yeah.
Came in and
it didn't fit.
No.
It didn't fit at all. So we were like, okay, well, this is obviously for the 34. I brought it to Japan with me.
Right.
I fitted it on there. it looks awesome. It dresses up the OEM mirror.
Yeah.
And so I come home and I immediately order one, and I'm like, go on Trust Kaikaku, do the same exact thing he did. It's listed wrong. I buy it for my car, but it's listed wrong, and it ends up being the one for the late Model 33. And I'm like, I just did the same thing this man did. So then I had to order another one because you're not return shipping something to Japan from Trust Kaikaku. So I order another one from a different place, and if you're looking for one, I got it on eBay right now. So,
nice.
But yeah, for the 33, I mean, for the most part, that's it. I mean, I'm not like done. You know, I still have some other stuff to do for it.
You did get the tower bar as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
How could you forget?
How could I forget? Because I don't ever pop the hood. The battery that I'm always struggling with is in the trunk. So yeah, no, I did get the SS Active titanium strut tower bar to match the 34 GTR's SS Active strut tower bar. So
very nice piece.
Yeah, I did remove an old school Top Secret strut bar.
Yeah,
but that's not for sale. So yeah, so that's
ornament.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's pretty much. I mean, the 33. I'm just gonna try to put some mileage on it this year and just drive it easy and take it easy, and then next winter's when everything's gonna go down. I can feel it.
Nice.
Yeah. So what's up? What's up with you and the 32?
This thing, man. No, not too much. I've been going through and trying to make improvements on pretty much the engine management side of things. Car's had an ECU Master standalone since I've had it, and it's been tuned. I don't know who tuned it, how they tuned it.
Billy Bob.
Yeah. Car's never had a wideband. Car's also never had an intake air temp sensor, which if you know what that does, you know that that's probably not a good idea to run a car long term like that. So anyway, I bought those sensors, and I've been going through the process of wiring those into the ECU. And
that's wiring, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's listening to this right now is like, oh, dude, I hate wiring.
Right. And I mean, I try to go into it positively every time.
Of course.
You know, I try to keep it positive. Like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just wires. You got a diagram. Like, you got a multimeter. Like, you know what's going on. Like, it can't be that hard. But
yeah, that's what you tell yourself. That doesn't mean it's the truth.
And then, you know, the main issue I had was with the wideband. That's the one I started with. And yeah, I got it all wired up, turned it on, let the car run. I'm waiting for it to start reading, and it just never does. Yep, you know the feeling, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right, well, what's going on here? So I immediately start searching online and just going through the steps and going through what everyone says to check pretty much. And basically what it boils down to is everyone saying, you know, take it apart, check everything, and put it back together.
Yeah, the old take apart and put back together.
Right. And I was so confident in myself whenever I was installing it that, you know, I'd taped everything up nice, had it all tucked back in. I was like...
it was final. You were driving that pig in a few minutes. Yeah,
exactly. So I had to, you know, just take it all out, untape everything that I just taped up, which is just kind of annoying. And yeah, took it apart. Couldn't really find anything wrong. Put it back together. Started the car up. It worked.
Of course it did.
So I'm just like, all right, whatever. It works now. I don't know why it didn't before, but it does now. And I'll just take that for what it is.
So what do you got to do is there anything you got to do to get that thing like to work with the ECU?
No, I mean, it's like, to calibrate it, I guess you just, you know, insert what kind of sensor it is, and it has it right in there in the menu because only one type is compatible.
I see.
So it has it right there in the menu, or it has like a custom as well, but didn't bother doing that. So just clicking that and then doing like a calibration and putting in the number there, and it was done.
Nice. Dude.
Once the wiring was, you know, correct or had all the ghosts out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, why? Right? It's just one of those things. But
Yeah.
so what else? So you've been working on getting your sensors installed. You got
Yeah.
any? Or those are for the ECU, not gauges or anything.
Right. And then also, I've been going through and trying to install some DEFI gauges. I got
Nice.
I got an what is it, oil pressure and water temp.
Nice.
So, yeah, I've been installing those sensors, getting all that into place, and trying to figure out where I'm going to put this huge box that comes with all the DEFI gauges.
Oh,
that
yeah.
they all link
The
to.
controller.
Yeah.
Defi Link.
I'm like, what do I even do with it? This is my first set of gauges that I've had that are like the EL, the electrical sensors.
Yeah.
So all the ones I've had before are mechanical, and those just obviously hook up way easier, or not easier, but just less involved. I guess.
A little more simple.
Yeah. You could, exactly. You don't have a control box for it. So trying to figure out where to put that, and and that'll be pretty much it for that part. And then, eventually trying to get a hold of someone to tune it would be nice, and like just
the old road tune.
Yeah. And try to get someone to do it remotely, I guess.
Yeah.
But I have a few people in mind, just haven't really reached out. And
Right.
I wanted to get everything solid and everything hooked up correctly and know that it's going to be reliable before I reach out. And
yeah, you
try to
don't
make
want to jump
appointments.
the gun
Right,
and
right.
waste somebody's time. And then when you are finally ready, you hit them up and then they're like, yeah, okay, dude, like I've heard this.
Right.
Like I'll believe it when I see it. But it's hard because you are, like, let's just say excited and like, you're going to need them. You're just excited. You're hitting them up, and then it ends up, oh shoot, I have to order this. That's back ordered.
Right.
Dang, now it's 3 months later. He
Yeah.
probably thinks so
Exactly. So,
yeah, it's sometimes worth waiting and maybe just having a little bit of dead time where you do got to wait for the tuner or something. But
Right.
like, you're not wasting his time, so that's probably the most important.
right. And I mean, realistically, it probably won't be till spring anyway, just because of how the weather is around here. And I don't really plan on, trailing it anywhere
Right.
to have it done. So, yeah, just taking my time on that, making sure it's all correct. And then I had pre-ordered a seat from Thrash Racing
Whoa.
like last year sometime.
Dang.
Like
Is it
last
coming?
fall. I believe so. I got an email the other day that will be coming.
Wow.
So I'll have a new driver's seat, and I'll move the Recaro Confetti I have to the passenger.
Wow.
So
major upgrades, dude.
major
on the seating.
upgrade. Yeah.
That's dope.
And
So will the seat belt still work?
it will, and I'll probably just keep it for simplicity because,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a harness bar or anything right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put in harnesses without doing that.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep the stock seat belt, but have a fixed bucket that's cool.
Dope. Yeah. Thrash racing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So everything else, engine wise, wheels, brakes, everything's kind of where you want it.
Yeah,
currently.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, engine wise, I probably should do a catch can, and realistically, I need to rebuild the rear differential, but those are all things I can do, when the time comes. pretty
Yeah,
much. I'm not
of
in a
course.
hurry to do either of those.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, it's always nice to not have like the situation where maybe your car wouldn't be ready to drive because you put a lot of miles on your car. So if you get too in depth with something, all of a sudden it's June.
Right.
You still got, 2 to 3 weeks left, and you're like dipping into up here in Maine where we live. Yeah, you enjoy every minute of that season because it is short.
Yeah.
It is short. So, yeah, we try to get out there as much as we can, and that doesn't mean the roads are going to be clean. Like, we have to wait for a lot to really be out there. But so this guy really puts the miles on once he can, for sure.
Yeah, and last year I kind of made the mistake of, well, I guess it wasn't a mistake, but just a little later in the season, I guess. It was late spring, early summer. I was doing the front knuckle kit and the control arms and all that.
Yeah.
And I ended up needing wheel bearings. And
that's how it goes, right?
yeah, so the car was down for, almost a month just for that. And that was like, start of the season or, pretty much prime
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
not to
that's
make that
right.
mistake again this year. I'm trying to keep it rolling,
Yeah, for
even
sure.
with what I'm doing, I'm trying to make it where it's still drivable. I can still start it, still drive it around.
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
learning.
yeah. Because again, you don't want to miss it. It's so short here. So okay, I mean, yeah, I got too many cars to be honest. I really,
No, there's no
I
such
really,
thing.
I know, but
We were just talking about how many more we could fit in here.
yeah, I know. Putting in another little 4-poster, getting some more height up there. But so I do got this FL5 up behind us. I mean, I would like to do an upgraded front mount and like some TE37s.
Yeah.
I mean, the car is like already sweet for what it is, being like tuned and whatnot. Maybe intake or something like that would be cool. But otherwise, like, I don't feel like going, the upgraded turbo route, even though it's drop in.
Right.
Getting the tuning like you're talking about, it's kind of a challenge up here because we don't just have these tuners left and right that to choose from.
Yeah.
We have to generally travel out of state. If we want in-person tuning, we're probably going down to Massachusetts, maybe
Yeah.
New Hampshire, wherever, something like that. Connecticut, yeah. So we're really kind of limited, but we do what we can with what we got. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't want to mess with all that on the FL5.
Yeah.
Since it is like the 4-door, I kind of enjoy it more taking my girls out and around, because I'm not trying to have them trample through the 33 or any of those cars, So it's a great family car. I also got that DB8 Integra Type R back there, 96 spec.
Yeah. Also a 4-door.
Also a 4-door, which is cool. That's why I always loved them. I've loved the DB8s over the DC2, coupe the whole time.
Yeah.
But I had originally purchased it, got a pretty decent deal on it, got it, decided, we were like, maybe this isn't the keeper. You know what I mean? I don't really love silver anyways, but seeing it in person, I was like, maybe we just clean this up really, really nice and then flip it on to somebody that can appreciate the car, and maybe that's where they're at with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I personally would rather have some, the Champ White 97 spec.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
but I mean, still cool to have it come through. We put a new valve cover on it, did some maintenance, cleaned it up super nice. There's a set of SSRs on it that were all like grubby and stuff. Like,
yeah, dude, they're mint.
yeah, there's
Like,
not even a curb rash on them at all.
There's
so
some new stickers on them, dude.
Yeah. They're awesome. Yeah. So,
Very nice.
yeah, I mean, that'll come up for sale pretty soon. I got to clear some of these out and maybe get some new stuff in there. We still got the S14
Yeah.
that we got a great deal on, and we got it in its mint. If you haven't been on the Instagram, check it out. If you have, then you've seen us doing some Donny balonies in it.
Oh yeah, dude, she rips.
Yeah, it really
Like-
does.
Like that. That took me
like,
back
yeah.
almost instantly. Just to feel that SR power.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.
it just starts spinning tire
Yeah.
immediately and whips you, and yeah, it's
It's a very well set up car.
it is. And so I'm really struggling on: do I keep it? Do I send it off? If I'm gonna be doing something to try to skid in, like, I don't feel like that's necessarily it, especially where I'm not experienced. Maybe that would be good for you where you have experience, but like for me, I need something a little more low volume, low, so
Just turn down the boost.
yeah, but I don't know. So maybe that'll come up for sale. We're gonna raffle it, but that shit's played out, and
Yeah.
we didn't. It's not gonna work out. So we're not
Right.
doing that. But if you do listen to this podcast and you do have the means to purchase it, I would hook you up on the price because we did talk about raffling it. So if you were interested in the S14 and you do got some cash, hit me up and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm gonna keep skidding it in the driveway.
Yeah, you will.
And so, yeah, and so basically that's it for these cars here. Of course, I got the 34 in Japan, but I'm not doing nothing to that besides fixing everything that we messed up on the track day. The MFD, we got a weird electrical issue. Brakes weren't squealing as much, so that was
no,
cool.
that was good.
Yeah.
Those are broken in.
And then the motor was making a little kind of a weird noise, but they're checking it out. They'll check it out, whatever,
It's in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely. They have treated me really good. So, if you're watching YouTube, you'll notice behind us there's this like blue thing out in front of Aaron's car, and so I'll try not to ramble on and get too crazy, but we have a buddy named Nick Varney, and he owns a few car dealerships, including a Mazda dealership.
Yeah.
And, we always get our vehicles from him, and he is our age range and was always into these type of cars as well. And so being that their family owns a Mazda dealership, when he graduated high school in 2004, what was the hottest car Mazda was just put out?
Dude, the RX-8.
The RX-8, dude. The
Yeah.
RX-8. And so Nick bought an RX-8, and it's really hard, if you think about the RX-8 and like its introduction to the market and, trying to be the predecessor to the FDRX-7.
Yeah, those are some big shoes to fill.
And they couldn't fill it. They couldn't. I mean, sales numbers would tell you that, and everything, right? Is it a bad car? I don't think it's like a bad car. I just think it's not like an upgrade, so to speak.
It's a completely different thing.
It's a different thing. Yeah.
I mean, it has those half doors on the back. Like, that's not an RX-7.
It's a 4-door, yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to think that I believe they stopped making the RX-7 in what, 2001?
2001, yeah.
Maybe 02? But that's an 04. That's only 3 years difference.
That's so true.
That's to think that in that short period of a time, they went from the FDRX-7 to the RX-8. Yeah, I would be pissed too.
Yeah. So, but if you own a dealership and that's the hottest car, your dad's going to be like, this is what you're getting.
Yeah, I thought they were cool.
Yeah, me too. A buddy of mine had one, besides Nick, and we ripped around in it, and it was sweet, 6-speed, like, love it, right? So, Nick being like a tuner type guy, he started modifying it, and he turboed it, and he gave it a Mazda speed body kit, and he had it tuned on special Mazda ECU stuff, Mazda stuff, right?
Mazda rotary stuff.
Yeah, and then he threw some 19-inch T37s on it. With the BFG KDWs, those aggressive tires.
Dude,
and the thing is, in a sense, it was cool and it ran good then.
It's tastefully modified.
Yeah, but to get to that point, he went through like multiple shops, and one of the shops kept it for like well over a year, and
holy cow,
and didn't get the job done, and gave him back a car that he's blowing stuff immediately, and so he finally found a reputable one. It's like Mazsport or Mazsport, right? Yeah, Mazsport. Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, as he kind of gets older and gets married, has 2 kids, the car falls to the wayside, right? And it sits in a warehouse, and it just sits there. Moves to a different warehouse, or like this old body shop under his dealership. Sits there. Finally, he calls me up, and he's like, "Dude, I just need you to get this thing out of my face." And I'm like, all right, I don't know what that means, and I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
I'm in your face.
Yeah, I'm like, but and he's talking about the RX-8, and so I was like, dude, yeah, I guess we'll bring it over to the shop. We can clean it up, figure out kind of what to do with it, and because he has every single stock part, he has 2 spare sets of wheels, he has everything he kept. It's got Ganondorf mirrors on it. It's got, and he did it right. And it's like nice, but it's all old kind of.
Right. It's all period correct.
Oh, for sure. Because it was all done then and then sat.
I mean, that's 20 years ago.
Yeah, literally. So, it's got carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber air ducts, like all kinds of cool little bits, like he knew what he was doing, but now he's kind of just ready to like let somebody else deal with it. So, yeah, we're not sure what we're gonna do with it. He's like, dude, engine swap it, sell it stock, sell it how it is, cleaned up, whatever. Just give me my cut. I'm like, this could be a fun thing, or it could at least be something to keep us busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of what's going on in the garage. I'm sure we'll post some pictures of this RX-8. I mean, it's not right-hand drive, but since he's a nice guy and a good friend,
it's got TE37s.
it has that in the seats with the Takata harnesses that are expired by 14 years. That's the reason why I said yes. That was it right there. I saw that expiration date and I said, dude, absolutely.
Dude, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll try to get that thing to do some donies.
It might.
Yeah, I think it
do some brap donies.
Yeah, because it sounds cool. But
it smells really cool too.
yeah.
I think he's got some premix in there.
He's got some probably. You know, those rotary dudes in their little tricks.
Smells like a weed eater.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like one too. But yeah, I mean, so that's what's going on. That's the deal in the Blunt Garage for this part of 2024. We're going to try to keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving.
So as far as the podcast, I mean, obviously we just got back from Japan. No real trips planned until the later half of the year. What were you going to say? Were you going to say something? Are you sure? So we're going to go down to IA. You know, last year I went. Aaron didn't get to go. We had a whole year to make sure that he could go this year, and we think that we've accomplished it.
Yes.
So, and again, if you don't know, like IA, what's IA, or why do these dudes so hard on for IA? Well, go back and listen to, those last IA episodes, and you'll just find out that it's a part of like what brought us up in the car world. So
yeah, it's the nostalgia of it, right?
For sure.
And just the whole vibe and even the venue, down to the venue,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's a whole thing. And so, we were there in 08 and 09 and other years, and now it's 2023 and 24 and we're back there. So we'll have a booth again. We'll be recording live from the event, and we also plan to have at least 2 of the cars out of the garage down at the event. So we're pretty pumped for that. We're trying to organize our own very small event. We're looking at different venues for location right now. We're inquiring, just trying to see how car friendly they're going to be and see if we're going to be able to use them. So we have a ton of people that do ask us about this, especially locally here in Maine. And so, we're going to be trying to hold something this year. And then if we can get a feel for it and it works out, next year we'll go ham. We'll go hard on it to make sure it's a really good event. But
we'll go ham.
We'll go ham. We'll go ham. Yeah. So, and then otherwise, of course, we got some more guests coming up, trying to keep everybody in touch with just the culture period, and kind of bounce back and forth between different types of guests. And I'm pretty excited about that. So I think
I'm pumped.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming up. It's just time, right? Time is like the hardest thing. Of course, we all know that you can't buy it, and it's the hardest thing to get back. So we're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best. But today, we just busted out episode 60.
There it is.
Yeah. And we appreciate you listening and the support. As always, it means a lot to us. 2 guys just following the dream, doing their thing.
Yeah. That's all it is.
All right. So for the big 60, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.